But before we do that, let's have a quick review of today's games, shall we? Because you watch the first round of matches and you see a good competitive game between the Germans and the French, and you think to yourself, all right, there's two good sides there, but France have got the upper hand and what have you. They've gone away, dusted themselves off. The manager, Yogi Loves, had another sniff, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He likes to have a little bit of a sniff and a scratch to the lad. Next thing you know, they're putting in a performance. You can't rule them boys out. Voice-sprung Dirk technique, mate. They are back.
Yeah, but I said this, when they played against France in the first game, they were the better team. Like, France were under pressure the whole second half. They scored their own goal and they won the game. But for me, Germany were the better team. They were the ones forcing the play. And I actually thought they'd beat Portugal today. I think Portugal are poor defensively. They've got Diaz, who's great, but the rest of the defence isn't very good. So for me, Germany are one of the teams to watch. I mean, you've got to be very careful. No one wants to play them. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah. Good game. Great game. Obviously, getting 6 goals in a game, when we sat through that last night, then you kind of get blessed a little bit, don't you? Earlier on, Hungary. I'm going to be honest. I thought this was a bit of a surprise result. Other people will tell me otherwise because they were they probably knew a little bit more about the Hungary national side. But having watched France, the talent that the French have, the players that they've got, I thought they'd blow them away today. And I thought Hungary were good defensively and shape-wise. They managed to keep them at bay for a long period of time.
Yeah, I think what Hungary done well today was whenever, even Dembele, when he come on, whenever he got the ball, they would double up on him.
He's direct him, isn't he?
Yeah, but Hungary were very clever and they were organised. They double up on players. Mbappe got the ball, they double up. They got enough players back. And it doesn't matter who you're playing against. If you've got 11 players behind the ball, don't matter what players you've got, sometimes it's hard to break down. There's no space. There's no space for Mbappe in behind today. So the tactics were perfect. Plus, it's a full stadium. They're playing at home.
I know.
You know, that's going to give you that. It's like that extra man, isn't it? It's going to give them that more enthusiasm to go and get a result. And they deserved a draw today.
What have you made of Spain in this tournament so far? 2 draws now, mate. Poland, listen, they're no mugs. We know that Poland are a decent side. They've got a world-class striker up there, obviously got the equalising goal. But they just keep missing chances, pal. Like, you're watching them tonight, they're creating again, and obviously missed a penalty as well this evening.
But I think this Spain team, how many of the players do you not know? I mean, the lad that missed the penalty, I've not seen him play before. I haven't even heard of him. So there's a lot of players in that team where you don't really know their strength, if that makes sense. You know Morata, you know Koke from Atletico Madrid, but there's quite a few of the players, even the centre-half, some of them we've never heard of. When you think of Spain, you think of the Iniesta Xavi era, don't you? Now they've got a different sort of setup. They don't have much pace in the side. Traore on the bench doesn't get a sniff. So for me, I don't think Spain will go far. I think they might get out of the group, and then whoever plays them will knock them out.
Interesting day. A couple of draws in there, but the standout performance by some distance with the Germans, putting 4 on Portugal, a good side, a good team in Portugal, and looking like they were getting somewhere back to where they've been over previous years. And you can never rule them out. They're so annoying when it comes to tournaments, aren't they? They just know what to do and when to do it.
Yeah, but they've got a good team. Like, look, even look at a centre half. You've got like Rudiger. For me, he's an animal. Like, he's hard to get past. You've got the fullbacks are very good. You've got Havertz, he's in good form. Muller's experience. Gnabry. I mean, he had Pepe like twisted in the second half.
Yeah, man.
So they've got some good players on the bench. Werner, Sane come on for 5 minutes today. So they've got a good squad of players, and if you want to underestimate them, you know, it's going to cost you.
Listen, we're going into the final round of group matches now, and I know a lot of people will have an opinion on this because if you're anything like me, you've just sat in front of the TV watching 3 games a day. So you've seen a lot of football. Out of everybody that you've seen so far, has your opinion changed on who you think is going to end up winning it, or have you got somebody new in mind?
No, for me, I'm very impressed with Italy, but Italy aren't playing very good teams. That's the difference. Like, Italy are playing teams that...
Mate, not conceded in like 500 games or something. It's crazy.
But put Italy up against, you know, a better team, and I think, you know, they'll have more of a test. So I've been impressed with Italy, but for me, France, I think even today, you know, they weren't out of first gear. Once they get into second gear, you know what I mean? Benzema hasn't started yet. Mbappe hasn't really started yet. So once they get into second, third gear, I just can't see past France, to be honest.
Italy have been mightily impressive, I think. Like you said, the level of opponent maybe is different to everybody else that we've seen. But defensively, we know that Italy are going to be mustard. The best thing about Italy in this tournament, though, is that they have been brilliant through the thirds. They move the ball quickly from midfield straight up to the top boys, and away they go. And
if they was wearing red, you'd think they were Spain, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
the way they're playing
back,
football.
Yeah,
you know, like the Spanish team with Iniesta, Xavi, the way they're playing from the back, Jorginho getting on the ball, and like he says, playing through the different parts of the pitch. But I just want to see him against a better team. You know, would it take as much risks if Jorginho loses it?
They're playing Wales tomorrow, proper team. Listen, I tell you what, it will be interesting to see how they line up tomorrow. We'll ask Mark Langdon about this later on. It'll be interesting to see how Italy approach this game. Do they want to keep the momentum going? Do they want to go for 3 on the spin and finish with 9 points? Or do they rest a few? And as well as that, how do Wales approach that game? Do they approach it not to get beat? Or do they think, do you know something? Might be a bit of a free hit, this, with the way that the group's set up and the goal difference swing. Let's have a go. Let's see what happens.
Will they have the same idea as well? Maybe Bale, do they want to risk him picking up a knock? You know, he gets injuries quite easily. Ramsey as well. Maybe they might rest a few.